trying to clinch the conference title by ourselves. We're also trying to go far in the tournament. You know, we made it to the second round last year, so I hope we make it around Sweet 16 this year. But either way, we just want to get better every day. And, you know, it's my last season, Quinice's last season, and Spin's last season. So, you know, this is all we got. We got to go as far as we can.
Janae Morris of the San Diego State Aztecs, who had a rather lovely year. Perhaps you've noticed it was in all the papers and on radio, television. They were 24-8 and the co-champions along with Utah of the Mountain West Conference, and publications around this online and others think they will be better this year. Some have them nationally rated, and they were picked to be #1 in their conference, and I'm sure Beth Burns does not hate that. And not to pat myself on the back, but I introduced Beth that when she returned to San Diego State and introduced her at a banquet and said, don't ever bet against Beth Burns, and coming back here, making this not just as good as when she was here, but better. Thanks for not making me a liar.
No problem, Ted.
That was a tremendous...
You're not easy to, you know, to prop that way, but I had your back on that one.
No, you did. You made me look good because you came back and just, it was a great year. Did you, by the way, did you think, if you had to write an envelope in terms of record and accomplishments last year and put it in your drawer and take it out now, were they as good as, or were they better than you thought they were going to be?
No, I thought we had a chance. You know, I thought what you don't know is when you have a group of people. People don't understand the talent equation. It's hard to get great talent, but that's just one component, especially in a program that had not experienced a lot of success. Everybody was doing something for the first time. So what you don't know is how they're going to react to that setting. And now that we have history to reflect on, obviously they did a super job. Couldn't be prouder of our team.
Boy, they had just huge wins, home against Texas and going on to the NCAA, beating DePaul, and played Stanford pretty darn close there in the regional in San Diego at the then Cox Arena. This, I saw your practice Saturday morning before the men's practice, caught the last part of it, and I mean, they look in shape to me, but probably, I don't know if they look in shape to you, but your off-season program, they come in looking like they're ready to play.
Yeah, and I, you know, we've had 3-4 practices in the books right now. John Francis, who is our strength and conditioning coach, as is Coach Fisher, we learned from Stanford we were too small. And, you know, we're fast, but as I said last year, we better beat them down the floor because if they catch us, they'll kill us. We're fast, but we weren't strong enough. And that was our focus in the off-season. Put, you know, a bigger, stronger Paris Johnson, a bigger, stronger Allison Duffy, Quinice, Janae, on down the line. And so, no, we're not in game running shape yet, but this basketball's a marathon. We're in real good strength shape. I'm real pleased. It's a two-way street. We have a great teacher in John, but our team really bought in and worked hard this summer.
And by the way, you need to learn to line up some more cupcakes, because I'm looking at the schedule and thinking, and Beth signed off on this? No, Beth did it. Beth did it with Jeff Schemmel, and they did this. So they go to the tournament. They got South Carolina, Notre Dame, and Oklahoma. They got DePaul at home and all this stuff. I mean, nice sense of junket playing in the Virgin Islands.
Yeah.
That's a lovely deal. But to play those teams, what were you thinking?
Well, first of all, you know, the Arizonas, the Auburns, they were on the schedule. We were invited to the Paradise Jam, and I think that's something where you have to reach a certain level, a certain status, if you will, in our world to be able to get to something. So, do we want to go to the Virgin Islands and play? Sure. Oklahoma, Notre Dame, number 4, number 5. One of our pledges as coaches is to play great games. Players always, if you ask our players, they think they can play a game tonight. If you ask any of the coaching staffs, they say, my goodness, we can't play for a month. But I think our players really are in position where, as I've said 6 times over since the season started, risk little, win little. We're ready to play.
No, I believe that. And speaking of sense of junket, we will continue here. I talked to Coach Fisher, and I were in Alaska last year, and no offense to the Great Alaska Shootout, but I took him aside and said, you know, there are tournaments in the Virgin Islands and Maui and Vegas. You have to have, like Beth, a sense of junket at all times. And now in women's basketball, by gosh, they do. Now I'll work on the men's side. We'll come back with Beth and preview these players individually, who they are. 4 starters coming back. Like I said, do not bet against them. I don't mean to in terms of with gambling, but don't forget to bet against another terrific season for Aztecs women's basketball. That when we come back with Aztecs Now.